Also, no shenanigans.
Well, like, can I watch?
Yeah, you can watch.
No.
No. All right, guys. So what we're gonna do today is talk about sustainability of workouts versus a fad in a workout. So I'm gonna show some clips, and it's gonna be right up there in the corner, and then have Andrew just react to some stuff, and then we're gonna talk a little more in depth. So Andrew, your task at hand is basically just rapid fire. Is something a fad? Is it a true sustainable program, or is it maybe undecided? Remains to be seen. Okay. So first one we got here is. What do you think?
Okay, what's this called? Kangaroo dance?
Kangaroo something.
Yeah, I mean, to keep it simple, it's not sustainable, it's not productive. Because your boots are doing everything your muscles and tendons should be doing.
Okay, cool. That's easy. Next. So what is this for the people who are unfamiliar?
Oh, what is it?
Yeah,
I think it's Larry Wheels deadlifting.
yeah. So this is under the domain of powerlifting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Larry Wheels is one of the stronger guys out there.
And so what do you say?
It's a great deadlift. It's actually a really good deadlift. But I think we've seen this, and I think as he gets heavier, things break down pretty good.
They do.
Which is weird because it's like 800-pound deadlift is perfect, and 805 just like breaks down like crazy. But he's a great deadlifter.
So is this sustainable or is this a fad?
Look at him. Look at not to go on a huge tangent, but look at him compared to all the people in that class. Just because you're not like fat doesn't mean you're in shape or healthy or strong or you have good bone density or anything like that, or good strength and tendons and ligaments and all that stuff. So there's a bunch of skinny women jumping up and down on something that did all the work for them. And then Larry Wheels, who is probably one of the best powerlifters and one of the strongest guys in the world. Totally legit.
Okay. Next.
Drumming class? I guess it depends what song you're drumming to. I know they're doing basically as many. Well, they're bad squats. They're doing as many squats as we do in our warm up. And then
Look at this one in the back, struggling like.
flailing around with no load or. I mean, all these things. If people are moving, that's great, and if they enjoy doing it. But I mean, it's one of those things where if you can't compete in it, you probably don't want to get really good at it. And as far as if it works, not just look at the people who are doing it.
Okay. Next.
It's good that they're moving. That's always a good thing. I don't want to be super negative. This is always a good one. This is where they're right in. Oh, no.
No, that's good. I queued it up just the right thing.
Where the beat drops?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're basically like, so I mean, when I used to go to Bally's, I used to do the stairs, and at Fresno State, like all the football players, their punishment if they were late or something was doing the stairs, and the rule was you can't hang on to the freaking stair handles. So you actually had to engage your glutes, you actually had to engage your quads, you actually had to maintain some type of mobility. Made it way freaking harder, obviously, as opposed to holding onto a handrail. So they're holding onto the handrails, and they're stairs, as in the elliptical stairs, if you're unfamiliar with those, Stairmaster.
Yeah.
They're holding onto something, and the trampoline's doing all the work. Once again, it's great that they're moving, but I would love to see these women squat or something like that and see how strong they actually are.
Okay.
But all these things, they should be calling us and telling us why this is productive and selling us on the benefits. I would like to hear that more than anything.
Okay, we have yoga.
Yoga's fine. I think the title is kind of misleading. Yoga for a bikini body.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Who knows what they're doing? I mean, we're just seeing a clip of this, but if you're sitting there talking and smiling and all that stuff, it's probably not super challenging. Yoga's only really going to be isometric stuff, which can be good, but is going to be challenging isometric stuff. Christopher Summer, gymnastics guy that we're trying to implement a lot of his stuff, he says he likes everything about yoga. He's a super smart guy, but he says they do a lot of their isometrics and especially their handstands horrendously. Their handstands are the opposite of what a good handstand is. So the hardest movement they do isn't even done correctly.
So sustainable or fad?
I don't think doing 21 days of yoga or whatever this
How about
is.
just this?
Yoga work. I think it's good and healthy. Not gonna get jacked. And
Okay.
That's what it's all about. So that's what I like to see. Who's
So
this?
this is
Von
Callum
Moger?
Callum von Moger. So this is classic bodybuilding.
Yeah. Everyone knows that works. Does it mean you're healthy? Do you have any type of aerobic base or any type of anaerobic power or anything like that? Probably not. But you're doing something. You're stressing your joints. If you do it intelligently, you can be very, very strong throughout your joints, connective tissue, musculature, ligaments, all that stuff, all the soft tissue. Not develop chronic injuries, and you get big and jacked. So that's cool.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that. It's great, and he's freaking jacked. Isn't he like the second coming of Arnold? That's what they say.
Yeah, he's a very big dude.
His traps are so big he ripped his freaking tank top. That's amazing.
Okay, next. So we have. Oh, I went to the end. My bad. Well, let's see if we can find where we were at. Of course, the internet is being nice and slow, and they're advertising their app. All right, there we go. What is this?
So I'm not super familiar with this guy, but you showed me some of the stuff
Okay, there we go.
earlier. This guy's ridiculous. This guy's no joke. And unfortunately, you showed me right before we did this. You showed me a video of him deadlifting, and it's just kind of a shame that his deadlift is so poor compared to how good he is at everything else. So he's phenomenal with body weight movements. I mean, he's got tremendous control, great kinesthetic awareness, being on bars, being on the ground, whatever it is. He's a freak.
His lats are like, that is a big ass lat.
Yeah, he is no joke. But it's interesting because he's really good, but you have some really good CrossFitters that not to just harp on CrossFit, but really good CrossFitters that probably have like 20, 30 pounds on him that can do probably 70% of the stuff that he can do, and they don't train for that, and they can handle a barbell too. So the disappointment, this guy's a freak, but it was disappointing to see him handle a barbell, kind of a moderate load, and look fairly almost unsafe doing it, as you said. But
Sustainable or fad?
sustainable and fun. Always learning new stuff. I'm gonna make enemies on this one.
Probably. Cycling, spin class. It's kind of interesting to watch it with no music.
Yeah, no, I think
You guys will hear the music, but we're watching this on silent.
so. This is totally just in my opinion. I'm not a huge. Well, I'm gonna go about. I think this is sustainable if you truly enjoy it and you can drag your butt there every day to do it. Is it super fun? Are you learning skills? Are you doing something that's applicable to outside? When you could actually be doing this outside, so that's always an interesting thing to me, especially in like the Walnut Creek area when you got Mount Diablo and stuff. But I think this is sustainable, and I think this is a great thing. And I think I've heard these things are ridiculously hard, but I think I don't know how fun it is. If it's not fun, if you're not learning stuff, and I'm biased, I think handling a barbell is very fun, and I literally want to do it every day. But I would say that this is good. The sustainability. The only reason I would question that is because of the fact that it doesn't seem super fun to me. But is it productive, and can it help with aerobic and anaerobic and help people lose weight and all that stuff? Yeah, I think so. I think it's good.
Okay, and last but not least,
Toughest workout ever.
okay, so this is Orange Theory.
I didn't even know that. I just see all the orange on the walls. I don't think Orange Theory is sustainable at all. I think it's nonsense, in my opinion.
Okay, cool.
You see people move kind of just randomly and get their heart rate up, so it's like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it.
Okay, so now we can break out into a little more in-depth discussion. So what was your criteria for something was sustainable or fad?
Well, it's got to be something that's productive and going to help you reach your goals. Otherwise, you're going to stop doing it. Hopefully, there's some type of fun involved with it. And I'm obviously, like I said, biased towards strength movements and Olympic weightlifting or higher intensity intervals and stuff. But really, if you don't want to do it, then it's not sustainable. It's gotta be a little bit of fun. You gotta learn something while you're doing it.
So in preparation for this, I was trying to come up with a really good analogy. And the analogy that I came up with is, imagine that your job was folding T-shirts for 8 hours a day. And you got paid $10 for every T-shirt that you folded. So in the beginning, it probably seemed very exciting. Wow, man, I'm making so much money. I can probably get through this many T-shirts in an hour, this many in a day. Oh my God, I can make $200,000 a year. But then you finish the day and you're like, oh man, that was kind of tedious. And then you do it for a week. And then by week 4, you're probably like, oh boy, how long can I hang on to this? How long can I do this incredibly tedious, incredibly boring, productive, but only monetarily? There's no stimulation. You're not learning anything. You have no challenging problems to solve. You don't have any interaction. All you do is fold T-shirts. And so the way that these things work is they go, you burn calories. You burn 1,000 calories per workout. But you don't learn anything. There's no stimulation. You don't get any of the things, the dynamics that some of the more sustainable things that Andrew talked about.
So the T-shirt thing, I also think once you've reached your peak and once you've hit, okay, I did 500 T-shirts that day, then it's
You're going to slide
downhill from there. So you
probably going to slide
down. You lose the excitement of, can I do 501? You've maxed out how many T-shirts you can do. And then, like I said, there's no mental stimulus. There's nothing to challenge you. There's nothing to challenge you physically or mentally. I was going to say something on top of, I forgot what it was.
That's okay. I'll continue to ramble a little bit. So for me, it's always been, is there a long-term plan? So people have been bodybuilding, deadlifting, and Olympic lifting for 10 years. You can find dozens of people who've been doing that exact program for 10 years, and they get incrementally and linearly better each time. Same thing with yoga. Same thing with Pilates. Same thing, Andrew had a sort of like mixed view of spin cycling and yoga, but there are definitely people who've done those things for 10 years and get incremental gains as they go. You will not find anybody who's done Taibo for 10 years. Lo and behold, Taibo is dead. You will not find anybody besides the instructors who have done Zumba for 10 years. And CrossFit is well on its way to that. I've been doing CrossFit for 7 years. Andrew, what, like 9 years?
Like 20 years.
So we're well on our way to reaching that threshold of, can you do something for 10 years? You cannot do drumstick circuit training for 10 years.
Learn to play the drums.
Exactly, right?
And everything, to go back to like my bias on, well, not even bias, it's facts. The things that I said are, those are okay, those are productive and stuff like that. Aside from the things where they're actually handling loads and stuff, I wish you showed me a track workout. That would have been cool to talk about.
Well, the most common ones.
Yeah. But now, can any of those people in these videos squat 400 pounds or deadlift 500 pounds or do anything that people who do CrossFit for a long time can do?
So that takes it immediately into the next point. So what did all these things have in common? There's 3 really, really, and if you don't guess them, that's fine, but there's 3 really important things that are contained with now focusing on the non-sustainable ones. What do all 3 of those have? What do those things have in common? 3 things.
Are you asking me or the people?
I'm asking you.
Before we do it, you said, sorry, I remember what I was going to say. You said these workouts are something promised to burn 1,000 calories or whatever it is. Here's the thing. Burning 1,000 calories one time isn't hard. You could not know how to swim and go jump into a 16-foot pool and struggle for an hour and burn 1,000 calories. But that's not sustainable. If there's no structure to it, if there's nothing to like gain or get better at, you could go in the middle of the street. Remember there's that video of that guy dancing in the middle of the street and it says like the newest hot workout or something, some crazy homeless guy. You can go to the middle of the street and go crazy with a weight vest on and burn tons of calories, but you're probably not going to want to do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Year after decade.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how to really explain it because I think it's so obvious.
Right.
So what do those things have in common?
Okay, what do these things have in common? All of the non-sustainable ones, what do they all have in common?
They're unnecessarily creative. They're novel. They have a very low barrier to entry. They include everyone because they don't really require hard work. They just require kind of showing up and throwing your hands around and stuff like that. And they're kind of a hot thing. So you see them on Facebook and stuff. You can say that I do that stuff. Did I get any of them?
Those are all absolutely true. I'll just make the points that I want to make. Is that they're all focused on calories burned. So just like Andrew said, they're focused on, wow, that was a good workout, as opposed to what is the long-term longevity of a given program or trajectory. So anything can be a good workout, and there's just one capsule. When you get focused on that, you lose sight of what can be achieved in the long run. And all of these things do not have a long run. They absolutely exhaust themselves just by way of those things Andrew talked about. They're over creative. Once you get over the creativity, you're just bored. They're all also marketed towards women. And so this is a really interesting thing. I didn't actually even anticipate this until I started gathering these videos. They're all marketed towards women, and I think it's because all of the things that we deemed sustainable have been dictated to women as being undesirable. Oh, you'll get bulky, you'll be a man, you'll have big shoulders, you're gonna be all roided out looking. And so women have been left with these really shitty programs, when the reality is, Andrew, what should women be doing?
Handling a barbell.
The exact same thing the men are doing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Sprinting.
And there is this concept that women are going to somehow, if you casually work out 3 or 4 days a week for an hour a day and you're pretty casual about your diet, that's going to blow you up. And if you touch a barbell, you're going to get huge. And it's just not going to happen. It is not going to happen. If you believe it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. It has never happened for anyone in the history of time except 1 in a million person who's a genetic freak. You are not that person. You don't have to worry about it. All these things are marketed towards women because women have been told they should be afraid of all the things that actually work. And it's a really bizarre conundrum to be in the fitness industry, because obviously women should work out too. And I think, and Andrew thinks, they should be doing exactly what the men are doing because it's not going to harm them in any way. It's going to be good for them, ostensibly good for them.
Yeah, there's no reason whatsoever. There's no reason whatsoever. Also, all those workouts probably, I feel like it's like it's you mentioned catered towards women. I feel like it's also kind of like get prepped up and primped and ready for it, and sweat minimally.
Oh, there's like a show involved.
Yeah, like
I don't sweat, I sparkle, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and don't and it's kind of like not too hard. And as we say here all the time, like if it's not hard, it probably isn't really productive at all.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of on your note of, oh, today was a really good workout because I was in there and I burned 1,000 calories. And like for me, a lot of times it's like, oh man, today was awesome because all I did was back squat and I hit a new 1 rep max and I was done in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I barely even sweat because I just freaking went for it and I was done. Didn't burn any calories. Who cares?
Yeah. So, sort of in conclusion, please don't make the mistake that we find this video is somehow anti-woman. It is anti-marketing garbage to women specifically, because that's exactly what's happening right now. When there isn't a woman on the planet, unless you have some sort of like weird back condition or genetic thing, that shouldn't just be handling outside loads and building bone density and basic body structure and strength and connective tissue strength, because those are all the things that impact women the most as they get older. Imagine that. And then secondly, it's not to shit on these programs in particular. They're perfectly effective for someone who, is looking to drop 20 pounds. They just need to get something started, but they're massively unsustainable and they're not nearly as good as some sort of long-term structured program that is interesting and dynamic and you learn things and all that kind of stuff.
We always think that whenever, like Eric said, whenever shitting on other people or anything like that, we always think, I don't really like Orange Theory, but we always think that as long as doing something's better than doing nothing.
Right.
And hopefully maybe doing that something is like, oh, you're doing this, and maybe you see people outside the room handling dumbbells and you want to get into that or something like that. But it can maybe it can be a gateway into better fitness modalities, which is always a good thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be CrossFit, just something that's better. But doing something is always better. We're never getting on anyone for doing the wrong thing. Hopefully it just progresses into doing something better, like CrossFit. CrossFit won't agree.
Good times. All right. Hope that was helpful. And yeah, thanks for watching.